You said I'm cheating for no reason.
You will cheat. What day he will do? I don't care if it's ping pong. He gonna
Right,
get it.
like how I'm
If
cheating.
it's ping pong, he want the advantage in the paddles.
I don't care about a paddle.
You figure out how to win.
I'm gonna win. Ain't no figure out. I'm gonna win.
A hell of an experience. You get that type of knowledge, that type of IQ.
I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You see me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around them days. He said that I do.
Bud, come on. Terrence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen and
Straight boom. Straight shot. Like right here.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he need to soak up, put it into his arsenal.
Terence Crawford is reportedly training alongside Shakur Stevenson ahead of Stevenson's fight with Teófimo López, and he has nothing but high praise for what he's seeing. Crawford emphasizes that Shakur's elite speed, airtight defense, and advanced ring IQ make him one of the hardest fighters in the sport to overcome. According to Crawford, Stevenson's rare blend of skill, agility, and constant awareness forces opponents to adjust every second of the fight, leaving little room for mistakes. Watching him up close only confirms how uniquely dangerous and difficult Stevenson is for anyone who steps into the ring with him.
the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to.
Terence Crawford praises Shakur Stevenson in a genuine, brotherly, and supportive manner, highlighting his exceptional skill set and deep understanding of the sport. He addresses critics by saying that some people may call Shakur boring, but those critics fail to recognize the high-level mastery and brilliance he displays inside the ring. Crawford draws a powerful comparison to Floyd Mayweather, who was once labeled boring as well, yet went on to become an all-time legend. According to Crawford, Stevenson possesses that same elite level of precision, intelligence, and speed, qualities that place him among boxing's most special talents and make him a fighter worthy of real respect and admiration.
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
we gonna take his personality and personal things out of it. But boxing, he's definitely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur's different. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they say the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive.
In Shakur Stevenson's camp, Terence Crawford teaches him a variety of techniques, emphasizing the value of learning different tricks from every fighter. Stevenson benefits from observing and practicing these diverse strategies, improving his adaptability and skill in the ring. Beyond training, spending time together fosters a family-like atmosphere, strengthening their bond and trust. This combination of technical growth and personal support helped Stevenson develop both as a fighter and as a person.
It's like a black kind of thing, like it's like when you go to cookouts and all your family be sitting there playing spades and
Chris Algieri emphasizes the importance of matchups where top fighters challenge one another regardless of the risks involved. He believes that facing elite opponents is essential for growth and true testing of a boxer's abilities. According to Algieri, taking risks in the ring, even if it leads to losses, does not diminish a fighter's status or talent. Setbacks can be valuable learning experiences, teaching adjustments, strategy, and resilience. He stresses that avoiding difficult opponents may preserve an undefeated record, but it doesn't prove a fighter's skill or legacy. Algieri advocates for courage and willingness to step into high-stakes fights, highlighting that elite boxers are defined not just by wins, but by the challenges they embrace and how they respond when pushed to their limits.
Or the health of boxing on this side of the world. Listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teófimo López kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teófimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teófimo López. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to poke the bear in terms of how well Teófimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him, man.
But I'll tell you what. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teófimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, and this is going to be one of.
Teddy Atlas defends both Shakur Stevenson and Teófimo López against the criticism that has followed them throughout their careers. He points out that many observers were quick to claim they avoided challenging opponents, suggesting their records were padded or that they weren't willing to face top competition. Atlas argues that this perception is outdated and unfair, as both fighters have proven their willingness to step into high-level matchups. He emphasizes that their skill, speed, and strategy make them formidable opponents capable of handling elite competition rather than avoiding danger. Stevenson and López have consistently sought opportunities to test themselves, demonstrating growth and adaptability. Atlas believes that the narrative of avoidance no longer applies, highlighting that both boxers deserve recognition for their achievements and the challenges they are now embracing in the ring.
And Teófimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up, and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite. They will make, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I'll tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Cepeda, being elusive while being aggressive, walking them down, fighting on the inside, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about.
Paulie Malignaggi highlights how Teófimo López frequently encounters criticism and is sometimes underestimated in the lead-up to major fights. Part of this, he explains, stems from Shakur Stevenson's higher profile in boxing. Stevenson enjoys more media attention, a larger fan base, and greater overall visibility. While López possesses tremendous talent, explosive power, and speed, these qualities can be overshadowed in public perception by Stevenson's reputation and the spotlight surrounding him. Malignaggi notes that the comparison is not always fair. As Lopez has proven himself against strong competition and demonstrates skills that demand respect, the disparity in attention can influence narratives, with analysts and fans often focusing more on Stevenson's accomplishments while questioning Lopez's credentials. Ultimately, Malignaggi emphasizes that Lopez's abilities speak for themselves inside the ring, and underestimating him could be a costly mistake for anyone facing him, including Stevenson. This fight will test both fighter skill and resolve under the bright lights of public scrutiny with this situation because
Teófimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like it's a big threat here to Shakur. And then they would all come undone only because of this reason. Teófimo López, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good. But Teófimo has a way, when you're so damn good and he knows you're so damn good and everybody feels like you're going to beat him, there's just something about Teófimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teófimo. Again,
he's got the X factor.
He's got the talent to. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, well, what about Shakur now? Tank this, tank that. Tank fights the guy that delivers my pizza. He fights the guys in the back that are doing the production. He fights the truck driver. I don't want to hear, because he would never have gone.
Boxing analyst Wade points out that Teófimo López and Shakur Stevenson have probably spent a lot of time analyzing each other's styles, given that they progressed through similar systems and promotional paths. He notes that both fighters are highly skilled, but their approaches in the ring differ significantly. Fans anticipating a non-stop high-intensity offensive display from Stevenson may be in for a surprise. As Wade suggests, Shakur adapts his style to each opponent. Rather than relying solely on aggression, Stevenson focuses on strategy, movement, and timing to exploit weaknesses and control the pace of the fight. Lopez's power and explosiveness present a unique challenge, and Stevenson's measured approach is designed to neutralize it. The matchup is expected to be a strategic battle that tests both fighters' adaptability and ring intelligence.
And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's going to be very surprised come fight night, to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out there and work?
It is interesting to hear, both of them talk about each other, because there's probably not two guys that know each other better, that haven't fought, but have seen each other, been around each other, AMI tournaments, and followed each other's career under the same promotional banner than Teo and Shakur, right? Outside of, again, sparring together, training together, that are about to fight each other, there's probably not guys that know how they operate better. So if Teo is saying, I'm going to go out there and make you quit, essentially break you and stop you, that's something we haven't seen anyone get close to even hurting Shakur, really. Like, people say the Williams-Zepeda fight, Zepeda hit him with the right hand and Shakur got wobbled, even though it was clearly slipped. I thought that was one of Shakur's better performances, because he dug down and bit down on his mouthpiece and said, I'm not just going to play the back foot and be slick and turn this into a very low output fight that I'll win because I'm just, he's better than Zepeda. But he went out there and dogged it out a little bit, and I respected him for it. I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teófimo López. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Tio. He won't. And Tio won't fight the same way William Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. You know, I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Tio's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange, so I don't know. Not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet